Alright, so this video is basically a soldering tutorial. We're going to be doing the G Pro wireless PCB with a set of KL-GM8 switches. I'll try to do my best to sort of talk through everything I do while I'm soldering, just to give everyone sort of a basic guide. A lot of people reach out with questions about soldering, so I figured I'd make a video that sort of covers everything and be able to send that to them when they have a question. Alright, so the basics stuff I have is PCB, switches, fume extractor fan, tip tinner, helping hands, and then my soldering iron. And then also one of these tip cleaners. I feel like a lot of issues people have is because the tip of their soldering iron is heavily oxidized. Like, it should be relatively shiny. Like, this is like not great. But once you hit it with the tinner and then clean it in the steel wool, it should be shiny and silver. So the first thing I have to do is clip the legs of the switches already in the PCB, just because it makes dealing with the solder pads easier. Then I just add a touch of solder to each pad. Don't overload it, but you're trying to just get a good amount on there. And then from there, just put the tweezers into the side of the switch. Very gently pull down. You don't want to pull too hard, otherwise you'll just rip the trace out of the PCB and the PCB will be destroyed. Heat them up one at a time, go back and forth. The switch just comes out. Tweezers in, just pushing very, very slightly, just straight down. Just run the soldering iron just straight over. The switch will come out. Then what I do is I remove the solder from the pads. Alright, then grab your switch, figure out where the dot is, make sure it's facing forward, line it up, and then I heat up the middle solder pad, and just slide the switch in. If you didn't perfectly clean the solder out, you might have to do a couple of the other pins as well to get it to sit flush. And the reason that I do this sort of middle solder pad method is because it makes it easy to straighten the switch out once you look at it on the other side. And then when you have it what you think is all the way in, flip it over and see what you're working with. Both of these are not flush. So you can try to push it in, but if there's any resistance, just heat the solder up. I like to kind of use this as a way to sort of press it in without burning your fingers. There you go, they're both straight already, and they're flush. So the bottom looks like now. Now I'm gonna finish adding the rest of the solder. What I do is I heat up one side of the pad, and then feed solder into the pad from the other side. The chisel tip works good for desoldering, but it's a little bit annoying. And this is what the bottom looks like. So this stuff here is the flux from the solder. I just spray a little brush with isopropyl alcohol and wipe it. This isn't bad, it just looks sloppy, so I get rid of it. Get that wet and then you can scrape it off. And here's how it looks when it's done. Hope this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Peace.